What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Zaily, and as you may notice, we got a new setup. We got new vibes. It's a beautiful and beautiful day, and I'm here with no other than Mitch. Let's get it, Mitch. You have anything to say to the crew for today?
No. I mean,
No?
I'm personally excited about the new set a little bit, man. I like the vibes.
Yeah, man. New setup. I tried. We got the boom arms now. We just feel more free. Like 100%. We could talk. You know, we could use our hands. We're not sitting on a pillow. It's a long story.
They didn't know.
They didn't know. The chairs, the table. Yeah, but I mean, I'm always open to, trying new setups and seeing which one really connects with us and which one we really like. I like this setup so far. I mean, obviously, we're just kind of chilling and talking. Yeah. We'll see if the viewers like it. Yeah, and also we got some new mic covers. I've already tested these out. And these do sound just as good as the other ones that we had, the pop filters. So, yeah, let's do this thing, man. Let's do this thing. You may be wondering, what are you going to talk about today? We're going to talk. I got some fun. We're going to take a different angle and approach for today. Just seeing what people like and what we also like to talk about.
Nervous.
You know,
I don't
nervous?
know. I know.
So, what is your opinion on a very controversial? No, I'm kidding.
I was like, what?
On a very controversial topic. No. But okay, so I'm gonna ask Mitch some questions and hopefully they'll lead into some conversations.
Okay.
Because this is actually a very interesting question I'm gonna ask, and I'm interested to see what you would say and what you instantly go to versus like what I would instantly think of and go to. Okay. But I haven't thought too much about this question. So here's the first question. All right. Okay. So, Mitch.
Yeah.
What would you say if you had 5 minutes to defend the human race in front of a group of aliens who are going to obliterate them?
Shit.
This question is from scienceofpeople.com. So
obliterate them. Okay.
Maybe obliterate. Just kill or. So aliens are here, right? Aliens are here.
Yep.
They come down. They're like, we're gonna get rid of your planet.
Okay.
Why should we save you?
Why should we save you?
They're like you're trying to plead.
I got you. I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah. Okay.
I would probably say watch us for 1 year, right, and focus on, dude. Honestly, damn, bro. I would say like focus on the family part of our human society, because I would feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because like honestly, the thing that's in my mind right now is like, I don't know, man. We're not that good. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like the one thing though that I feel like has been consistent is like when it comes to like family in America, I wouldn't say, or not only America, but
just save America.
Dude, you got me off guard, bro.
Everything else,
save America.
Everything else can go. Just save America.
Hey. Yo, we're good, but everyone else,
see,
no, they would actually probably hate us, to be honest. America, they're like, no, we're saving everyone but America. Well, Canada can go too, I guess.
Canada can go,
but yeah, dude, that's hard. I would say they would just need to watch, like, hey, just chill out for a little bit, just watch us, don't go to like New York City or Denver or anything. They're terrible. I'm kidding. But yeah, what would you say?
So let me just put this into a box.
I didn't have any time to think about this.
That's the point.
I know. That's why I was like,
let me put this in a box of what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. So first,
we can just do it.
You said, so to save the human race, it would be look at us for a year.
Yep.
And then look at America, but not just America.
No, I know. I messed up saying that.
That's okay. That's okay. Gosh, what would I say? I haven't thought about this question either. So I would say, this is what I would say. Number one, I assume they've been watching us for a year, maybe, probably. I would assume. Let's just say. I don't know what that was on my computer. Give me 1 second. Ooh. Okay, so what I would say is we have a lot of issues, right? We're definitely not perfect. But if you look at majority of human beings, and I would say majority, a lot of them, typically want to be safe, secure. They love their family and their friends. And then obviously there is some percentage of humans that are bad, quote unquote, that we would consider to be evil and don't really care about other people and don't really care about the environment, yada, yada. Yeah. But they never start off that way. That's what I would say. That it's always like humans' issues are from environmental. It's not like it's not nature. Like we just don't come out evil. We just don't come out evil as far. Like it's like it's how you raise the human. Yeah. It's how you raise the human and what environment are they in that leads to the outcome of the human. So if you're gonna kill us, at least give us an attempt to live in a more perfect, just world before you do that, aliens. Aliens be like, damn, come with us. Yeah,
just you, man, just you.
I don't know.
That'd be hard, dude. I mean, to be just completely honest, I mean, yeah. I mean, the people that I'm surrounded with, I love them. They're great people. But outside my bubble, right, there's how many people in the world are evil, you know? And once again, we're talking about aliens, but it's like they would come down, you know, my bubble of people that I think are amazing is like a 0.00000 whatever % of the entire population, right?
Yeah.
And it's like not everyone's like that. So it's hard for me, again, going back to this question, it'd be so hard for me to try to convince them because I haven't been everywhere. I feel like someone who can respond to that should have would be like someone who's been there, like overseas, everywhere. But you know, once they
but it's you're the one they singled out.
What's that?
Yeah, I said you're the one that they singled
pass. Out. Pass. I would say pass and give it to the next person.
And they're like, okay, we're just gonna kill that.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no.
Yeah. I would say ask the next person. Ask my buddy Isaiah.
No, coming all this philosophy take. Like, listen, guys. No, I would say, and you know, I would turn it back on the aliens. I'd be like, look, what gives you the right to obliterate us? Like, how isn't it a little bit evil of you being aliens in our universe? You know, aliens to us to come and just obliterate us. Like, what makes you so much better than us that you could even decide that for us? Like, we didn't come to you and try to kill you yet.
What? Yeah. Well, what if they come back and say, hey, we have been observing you for a year, and our main goal in life is to make sure this universe has positivity, or at least civilizations that are alive are for the good. We've been observing your people, and they haven't been necessarily good to this universe. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man.
So then I would ask him, what gives you the moral superiority in your thought process versus like what we do? So the question would be like, okay, well, why do you get to decide who lives or dies? Like, why is your morality better than ours, and why is your judgment better than ours to just wipe us out? Yeah. That'd be my question. What would they say to that? What do you think?
I don't know.
No, I mean, like,
I don't know, bro. I mean, that's so hard to like even try to think about, for me at least. Maybe my brain's just slow, but
no.
Yeah, dude. I really don't know. I really don't. That's something like I've talked about this before. Like thinking about that kind of stuff is like your human brain sometimes can't even comprehend like a situation like that. But maybe they were sent, maybe aliens that were there actually, you know, sent from God or some shit, you know, who knows?
They would have to prove that.
They'd have to prove that
the creator sent them over, and that, you know, the creator gave them that authority. Yeah. Other than that, it would be like, I don't know if you deserve that.
But again, if they have all the power to do it, they're not going to give two craps about
that. Is calling
them out.
Whoa. Know? So that's a question. So really, why God? Oh, let's get into it. You're not the thinker, bro. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
It's like this little kid that's in like this, and then the dude behind the camera's like, "You're not the thinker, bro." It's funny. So this leads me to a bigger question that I've actually talked about this a lot. We'll see how fun this is. I don't know if you'll like this line of question. It's more philosophy based, I guess, but I'm not like a huge philosopher or anything like that. But the question is, morality is enacted by the powerful, right? Okay, so for instance, let's just say there's no God, right? Which you don't believe, but let's just say that there's no God, right? Then whose morality is right? It would be relative morality completely,
Correct.
right? If I believe, how's that possible?
Oh my gosh.
Pause, guys. Hey, and we are back. Okay, so the question was, let's say there's no God at all. So that means that all morality is relative, right? That like if I go and kill somebody and I believe in my moral framework and my moral structure, that's awesome because I'm releasing that person from life and they get to go do something else in the universe, right? Am I morally wrong? Well, you would say yes, and maybe a bunch of other people would be like, yeah, that's totally, completely immoral to do that. But then I would sit there and I'd be like, well, why? Why is your morality higher than my own morality?
Correct.
And there's no answer to it. The only question is, you would say, well, we are a group of people in society and we're deeming that not to be an okay thing, right? Which would make sense. So then I would say, oh, I get what morality is now. Morality is enacted by the powerful. So whoever is the most powerful enacts their morality, right? So like if we're Hitler in Germany.
I was literally going to say that.
Isn't that crazy?
Because I truly do believe there are not everyone should be guilty from those acts that happened over there. Because they were literally just not smart enough to where they thought that was truly okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the question.
But we're not the ones to judge at the end of life, right? So, it is, we really can't say much about that besides our own opinion and our own morals. Obviously, that was terrible. Mm-hmm. Terrible. But during that time, Hitler, I do believe, he knew it was wrong. He knew it was terrible. But you have to think about all those young soldiers, they're fresh. They're only, they could be 16, 18, 20, 30, whatever. And they truly didn't know better, And that's the people who were the powerful over there, Hitler, had that moral ground, that moral standpoint. Yeah. And people followed. That's a great example.
Yeah. And when people I've talked to people about like relativistic morality, like this kind of concept a little bit. And when people come and say like, oh, well, that's just wrong. Like certain immoral things. When I'll be like, yeah, like it's great that it's wrong in our society, but you could think, what about 1830s America in the South? It was completely moral to own people and pretty much do whatever you want with those people. Yeah. Like some of we have major corporations that sometimes by getting that big kind of are immoral. Some of the things that they do, but we allow major corporate. That's like something that we allow, which is fine. No big deal. I think most people would say it's immoral, but like, yeah, if you think throughout our history, there has been instances where like people are doing some pretty immoral things, but without, really without God being present, like how can you say that's wrong versus somebody else? Like it's all relative. True. It's all relative. Like, what does it matter that you live till tomorrow? Like, why is your life important versus you being dead? I don't know. But the only answer I can give is that like God does carve out a space for that. Saying that God is in how does God have, like the question would be, how does God have the ultimate morality? He's the ultimate power. Yeah. So he created the universe. He's the ultimate power. So he can enact his morality upon us. And we should follow it because he's the most powerful. So that's how I answer morality questions. But anyways, I got it off of a different type of vibe. What do you think about that?
No, like you were saying, he's the ultimate power. And he's the only ultimate power that doesn't use power for the wrong. Right?
Wait, I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't use it for wrong, yeah.
Yes. But I'm saying, like, we're talking about all the bad examples. And, like, back in the 1800s, early 1900s, it was a bunch of just white people who had too much power and they rarely used it for good, right?
I'm sure they did use it for good too.
For some standpoint, but sometimes it's like, well, just the good outweigh the bad or vice versa. Yeah, so yeah. I'll never.
That's interesting. Yeah, that like relativist morality question is always hard. That's one that I will talk with people when they like when we kind of get on the topic of just morality in general, and there's another reason why I believe in God, is that's just one of another reason of that.
It'd be nice to actually ask someone, is atheist someone that doesn't believe in God, or which one's the atheist versus agnostic?
Atheists don't believe in God at all. Atheists, like they don't believe God exists.
So it'd be nice to actually ask an atheist.
Yeah.
You know, without getting in an argument, you know, what are your morals and how do you find your morals? Like, what's your role model, I guess. There's, you know.
Or what, like, why is your, like, how do we have these morals or whatever? And then, I mean, they would say that, like, it was a group of people that came together over history and realized killing is wrong, murder is wrong, killing is wrong, robbing people are wrong, all these things are wrong. And, you know, that led to a more cohesive society. Like, up until nowadays, it leads to a more cohesive society so that we can live together and prosper. And so that's why we have the morals that we do. So then my question would just be like, then I would just like, kind of like I just said, I would just ask the point blank question of, so if someone just goes and robs somebody, or someone goes up to your grandma and punches them in the face, is that morally wrong? And like, what if they were punching your grandma to make her feel something because she hasn't really felt any pain in a long time? Like, in their mind, in their crooked mind, you know, like, you can make up a whole story. Are they technically wrong for what they did? And I think ultimately somebody would have to come to the realization that, like, technically no, right? Because it's all relative. Morality is all relative. If you don't believe in God, there's nobody over you. That's the ultimate power saying, hey, this is wrong. It's just you saying it's wrong. Or a group of people saying it's wrong. Correct. Doesn't necessarily make it wrong, which is crazy to think about. But like, if you break it down to its fundamental argument, I think that's kind of like where it goes. I don't know that, like,
but I guess
I'm bouncing with ideas.
Laws come into play, right? I mean, obviously, you get arrested for that shit.
Yeah, well, I think it's wrong. I think it's clearly wrong, but I think it's wrong because God tells me it's wrong.
God's wrong, but like, even I think at that point, you know, you're talking about like relative morality. And even if an atheist think that's right, I would actually say majority of atheists probably think that's wrong because it's also, I mean, it's against the law. And that's kind of like, I feel like that's a common ground.
But the laws are made from
relative morality. Yeah.
Yeah, the laws are made from a group of people coming together saying that this is wrong. Yeah. A law is just a group of people coming together saying that one thing is wrong, and then that's made into law. So like that makes all sense. It's just the foundation of your argument. How are they wrong? Yeah. Foundationally, how are they wrong? Because it doesn't matter if we live or we go extinct. Technically, we're just like, you know, little peons on a planet, and nothing matters really, right? Like, and you would say like, oh well, we want to live. You know, well, that's going to hurt our progression into the future to make babies and create, you know, a more flourishing society. And I'd be like, why does that matter? You know, there's no answer. It's just, we just do it just because we do it. Yeah. Like, what's the point of anything continuing to like live and just go extinct? Like, what does it matter if we're the same? If, you know, there's been a lot of extinct animals that have gone extinct actually probably pretty recently. And it's like,
I know what you're saying.
What does it matter? Yeah. Actually, like without God, what does it actually matter? And then you kind of come to this realization, like, oh, nothing. I'm not saying anything's bad. I think everybody should believe what they want to believe, but it kind of makes you think, like, damn, right? At least to me, that was one thing that I battled with. Is like, without that belief in God, it does not matter. Like, I can't point the finger at somebody that does something heinous because it's just me versus them, and I'm not all powerful. If let's say they had a group, like, you know, let's say I was living in the slave times, let's just say. And it was like 1820s America, you know, it's like 1820s America, and I don't believe in God, let's just say. And I go up to a white master, let's just say at the time, you know, and I say, hey, what you're doing is wrong. And they'll be like, why? They'll be like, because you're enacting power over people and you're subjugating the people to horrible, like you're hurting people. And they'll be like, why does hurting that entity matter ultimately? And I have to go back to the drawing board because I can't prove them why, because it doesn't feel good. So,
dude, is
that crazy?
This is very crazy because I've honestly never thought about this before. Yeah. I've never thought about something like that, especially from that standpoint. And it's crazy because, like, wasn't wrong to them at all. You know, it was not wrong. They thought it was truly right deep down. Well, I'm sure some of them actually knew better. But Yeah, I don't think people think about this much, to be honest.
I don't know. It just makes you think like, And I could be, I mean, obviously I could be mistaken and missing some key points. It's probably better to explain it like one-on-one, but like, yeah, I don't know. Huh. It's interesting. Okay. I don't know how that question got on that, but hey, that's how we do it. All right. Okay. We got Mitch's like, what are we talking about?
Started with aliens and
start aliens and end up in relativistic.
So more of a story. Aliens. Don't look at our past either.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Ooh, it's a good question. Mitch, if your life expectancy suddenly increased to 500 years, would you live differently than you? No, I'm sorry. Wrong question.
That's a good one though.
We might come back to it. Wrong question. If immortality were possible, would you want to be immortal?
Hell no, bro. This is a good question.
Why?
That's basically the same question.
You could live forever. Why not?
Dude, I think it's special how we have a limit on life because I think, honestly, I think it was Jordan Peterson, of course, that I heard one time, and he goes, if you could live forever, then why not just sleep in today, don't do anything because tomorrow is expected. You can just do that thing tomorrow, right? And to me, it's like, where would your drive be? Like, I don't understand that. Because if you know, say I go and, I don't know, buy a yacht today. I wish I could, but it's like,
he can.
Yacht. Yeah, right.
Take it, finance it.
We'll drop the GoFundMe down in the link below.
Yo.
That'd be awesome, though.
Go fund us.
But if I buy a yacht, that'd be awesome, right? And usually if you have a lifetime of, I don't know, just say 80 years, and that yacht's going to be a big part of your life, it's going to be special, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be very special. But if you had that yacht for freaking 300 years, shit's going to get very, very, very boring. Because even at a smaller scale, I used to go out boating with my buddies like every weekend, right? It was phenomenal. It was great. But you get towards the end of the season, and it's almost tiring, you know? And like to think that, I'm kind of off topic, but basically, like, I just don't think I would have the motivation to just keep going because I know tomorrow's promised. Like, I don't know why. I understand why people would want to do that because they're like, oh, I could spend forever with my family. Mm-hmm. I really do understand that. But once again, if you believe in God, right, you believe that you'll be able to see them, hopefully, after life. And I think that's special because nothing on this earth will, in my opinion, will not grant you the happiness you'll get after life. And if you are mentally like stuck on earth and you're like, I already know I've spent my best days already and the rest of my 300 years, I don't think anything's going to be special. That would just suck. That'd be like torture. So that'd be like slavery, honestly. Like a mental
life
prison.
Slavery.
Yes. I don't think I'd like it. What do you think?
Interesting. I'm just contextualizing what you're saying. I get what you mean. Like, just over time, things would get very stale because you quite literally would do everything. Like, you would have the ability to do literally everything. If you wanted to. At least not in it. Like, so here's my first question. Somebody says, do you want to be immortal? Right? My first question would be, does this universe live on forever? And if they say yes, the universe lives on forever, my instant reaction would be no. Here's the reason why. So if you are immortal and you live in a universe that just lives infinitely, right? A universe that never dies, right? It's just whatever. That means the possibility of you getting stuck somewhere for eternity, or not eternity, but for a very long time, goes to 100%. So the possibility that just to make it more simple, that something catastrophically bad happens to you to potentially to where you get pinned like for a very long time, doesn't that go to 100%? That even if it doesn't happen in a trillion years, like let's say there's a 1 in a trillion chance that you fall into a sewer, drain, yep, and you're chilling in the sewer drain. There's a 1 in a trillion chance that you get stuck in there forever, right? if I live in a universe that's infinite, isn't there might be a 1 in a trillion chance that happens to me. But since I live forever, doesn't that go to almost 100%? Even if it doesn't happen for a trillion years, it will happen at some point. Not necessarily drain, but get stuck somewhere.
Like, you mean like literally physically get stuck somewhere?
Yes. Like something catastrophically bad will happen to you. That to the point to where it's like torture, like catastrophic bad, goes to 100%. And I don't know how the statistics line up in my brain, like, but isn't that true?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know if I would agree with that. I like, just because it depends on how I don't know, how free you live your life, how outgoing you are. What if I'm not doing crazy shit? You know, what if I'm in my hometown for my entire life, right? Nothing too dangerous. Farming, that's dangerous.
But you eventually will cut off your arm farming. Eventually. Like let's say the likelihood the likelihood of you getting run over by a tractor is 1 in a trillion chance. But you live forever. Like if let's say tractors are still around for, so it wouldn't work because time progresses. Yeah. So like if you if you go past that tractor time and now they're
the facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, if like tractors go out of style, whatever, and now there's some new harvesting method. Okay. Yeah. You're totally fine. Right. With that tractor. But it goes to 100% that you're likely extremely bad's going to happen to you.
I know what you're saying now.
Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if that's right though. I think the statistics line up. I think it's actually, it goes to 100%. If you're living forever, like if the universe is infinite, you live forever.
I would mentally like to just defy the odds and just say that's not true, but like I mean, a good example would be like a dude got stuck in a cave when I was at South Dakota, and there's literally this dude who was exploring this cave, got stuck in the freaking cave, dude. Like it's a little hole like this, got stuck, and no one could go in there.
He was like cave diving,
he was cave searching.
Wait, is that the thing where they crawl through like... he was doing that?
Oh, yes.
Bro, that is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Bro, I hate those videos.
And people do it for the hell of it. I don't understand it.
Bro, those are like the craziest...
But I can't. That's just an example, right? This dude was going and he actually explored, like, it's one of the longest caves in the U.S. at least. But like, in that situation, either one, he would have lived forever down there. Oh. How do you even, kill yourself if you would want to, because you're suffering so much? 2, or would the people have tried harder to get him out? Well, I don't think that number 2 is actually an option, because I think they would have done that in the first place. I just don't think that they did it because they're then risking more lives at hand. And it's not like he was 4 feet under the ground. This cave was 10 plus miles long, dude. Like, can you imagine that?
So he died?
He died. Yeah.
So he starved to death then?
I'm assuming. He died in the cave, though. Yeah. Yeah, it was not.
Bro.
Can you imagine that?
No. I literally, I see some of those videos on like Instagram, or I'll see them on YouTube, like some of those cave diving videos or whatever they're called, like cave crawling. Is it called cave crawling?
I don't know because I've never
whatever it is,
but
bro, I cannot, like, there could be a nuclear bomb that went off. I don't know if I'm diving in that cave. I might just turn towards the bomb and be like,
dude, it's scary,
bro. That is dope.
Scary.
Have you seen those videos like when they're in there and then they hear like water or something? Like water, and you're like, oh, we gotta get out.
I'll one up it. I'll scare you even more. So we're doing a tour. Nothing to do with the conversation, but it's a cool story. Yeah. So we're doing the tour.
Okay.
And the guy's like, we have all these lights on here. They have a bunch of lights mounted. He was like, I'm going to prepare you guys. I'm going to turn the lights off. And I'm going to light a candle. Because back in the day, it was only a candle. He did that, and I swear I got lightheaded so damn quick. And then he goes, okay, sometimes people's candles would go out, so their eyes would try to adjust to the darkness. Turns that candle off. Dude, it's black. It's just black everywhere.
Where was this, in the cave?
In the cave.
What cave? What cave exploring?
I can't remember it. Gosh,
it was somewhere in Iowa?
No, South Dakota.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I just like couldn't even, like, why do people want to do this? But whatever. I mean, I know he was doing that and knowing if I die doing this, I'm dying doing something I like, but you're starving to death.
No, dude. Oh I can't. Any one of the, like, all that extreme stuff, like skydiving, rock climbing, free, like, so, like, no harness, no nothing, like
rope walking.
Rope walking, what are we?
This is another crazy story.
How? What is it about? Is it adrenaline? What is it? What is it?
I think people find that edge once. It's kind of like a drug. I really do think it's like a drug. People find that edge once, that little, adrenaline rush or whatever, and they're like, my life doing this makes me feel a lot better than not doing it. So I'm like, screw it, let's do it. If I die, I die doing it, right? It's whatever. So another example is when the World Trade Centers were up, this dude from overseas, he was literally scoping the World Trade Centers down. And he was like saying, when these get done, I'm putting a line across from one World Trade Center to another.
I thought we were going somewhere else with that. I was like, what's going on here?
No.
I was like, Mitch, where we going?
No, he put a line across from one to the other. Do you hear about this?
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, you seen that movie?
I've seen like where he walks across.
Oh my gosh!
No, I don't know.
But he liked that. He liked the rush, man.
Do you have anything in your life where I like the rush? Like, is there anything? Have you felt that way about anything?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like sports back in the day. When you win a championship or shit like that, that rush is amazing, right? But it's not like I'm going to go to the NBA or NFL or shit. But I don't think I've reached that yet. No. I really don't. Do you?
Do you think in like the core? I mean, I'm talking about like adrenaline junkie stuff. Like, so like I've playing football. Like I won like the high school championship and stuff. So like I felt like that peak level, and I've done some things like with our track team that we always wanted to accomplish, and we actually accomplished them. And so like I felt really good in those moments. But like it wasn't like I was ever like afraid. You know what I mean? Like it's like that fear mixed with adrenaline, mixed with like this is a rush. Like, is that what people are feeling? Because I don't see it. I don't want to do it. I know maybe it might be fun for like half a second. I don't know. But there's so much risk in like I don't want to die. Like I don't. Like I guess it's like being on a roller coaster though, right? Maybe
that's actually.
It's probably just like I like roller coasters. Roller coasters are cool, but I also kind of have the knowledge that like okay, this is more like I'm not gonna die more than likely.
Well. I mean, I was on the opposite side of that. I was scared as shit of roller coasters, dude. And this is actually probably my moment that you were trying to refer to. But I remember I was at Adventureland. I said, screw it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And it was this one. It's like a green one where you go straight up. And then when you go down, you actually go down. And then you come in. And then you go back down. Right? So you're like leaning like this. It's crazy. But like that was an adrenaline rush of a lifetime for me. That was a big obstacle because I hated roller coasters, dude. I was scarred. And that was like one of the biggest ones I've gone on at the moment. So, and then ever since that moment, I wanted to keep doing it. So that's like the same. I think that's the same thing. Obviously not like, crazy shit. Like the dude who rock climbed 1,000-foot freaking cliff freely. There's a Netflix documentary, but I don't know if it's 1,000 actually, but actually no way.
I've seen that video. Is it called free soloing or whatever? Oh, yeah. When they rock climb. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the rock was exactly called.
I don't know, but I need to stop throwing facts out here because now I'm thinking about it. I don't think it was 1,000. I know it was a lot though. Like it was tall as shit.
Yeah, I seen that video, and this dude's like, he like knew the course exactly, like how to do it right. Like he's climbed it before, and he did that with no harness.
Nothing.
Like, but there's a lot of videos of dudes like dying like that, like people falling off, and it's crazy because it's like, man, like how does that? I guess you need people to be like that, like super. I guess you need people to be super adventurous like that, But man, I'm adventurous to the point. I don't know. I guess there's different strokes for different folks. So then my next question for you. Okay. This is my question kind of when we're talking about it. Do you think like your life currently constructed, you can reach like that? Like how it's constructed? Do you think you can ever reach like that? Just like peak level of like when you said winning a championship, like in our lives, is it okay to structure our lives where we don't try to reach that anymore?
That's okay. I can get pretty deep here because
let's go. Let's get deep.
Let's get deep. I feel like you should. I really feel like you should have that goal of keep like surrounding your life with that feeling. Hold on to that feeling. I just remember in high school when you'd lose a game, that coach said, hold on to that feeling you're feeling right now. Remember it next year when we're going to the championship or going to state, whatever. Yeah. And like that drives you as a person. So we're talking about this kind of stuff. And it's like, there are people in today's world that really don't challenge themselves. They really don't wake up and say like, let's get after it. Right. It is what it is. They can do whatever the hell they want. But I feel like the people who are pushing to get that feeling that they once had of just pure joy and adrenaline rush, even if maybe not, but I feel like their life is a lot more full of special moments, you know?
Yeah,
I think it's a lot more rewarding. I don't know how you can live your life without trying to at least get those moments. You know? What do you think?
Well, I had a follow-up. Then, like, okay, in your life, you said you would hope that, like, you would set yourself up that way, right? Like, you would hope that.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you feel like you've done that? Do you feel like, is it hope, or like, do you feel like you have done that? And then what is, if you say no, like, you don't feel like you set your life up in a way to where you can reach that peak level of enjoyment and happiness from like trying to conquer a goal or, you know, whatever, then like, what's stopping you from like getting there? Like, what's stopping you? Yeah.
So I feel like I have reached some of those moments, but there's different levels of it, right? Like, I think I've set my own goals for, you know, in my low 20s, I want to do this. I feel like I have reached most of those goals, and I've felt that feeling that I expected to feel, right? Where I'm just, you know, someone says something, it happened, and I turn around, I'm just like all happy, you know, like I was like, I know I made it there. But there's different levels. Like, even though I've done something this year that I'm very proud of, in my 30s or late 20s, I'm going to expect myself another level of that. Right.
Like far as your job and your job, you're saying?
We can talk about job, yes.
Okay.
We can talk about it job-wise, right? I'm expecting more of myself, you know, in 2 years, you know, 4 years, whatever. But I also want to talk about the other way. If someone isn't like that, it's all about resources too. You know, I've been blessed with a great surrounding, but not everyone has that. Money. Unfortunately, money is a big problem in today's world of people living their best life. It sucks, but it's the truth. I'm not a wealthy person by no means, but I feel like when I am in those moments where I know I'm going to feel really good, and I need to use my money for that, I'm always going to use the term that money is going to come back, but this memory might not, you know, like this memory will always live on, but this moment might not come back. True. You know what I'm saying? True. So I think that kind of phrase, people need to like remember that, like your money will always come back, dude, to a certain extent, I guess. Not everyone's blessed with that, but yeah, go ahead. I need to stop talking now.
No. That's I think you're hitting on some good points there. So is there a difference? Some people are obviously very job oriented, and like money oriented within their job, and like that's their goals, and they see enjoyment from that. I'm just wondering if a job goal is not as amazing as I'm just wondering. I don't know if it could very well be like if you're doing a job that you really love. I assume you really like your job, what you're doing. So like reaching goals for you within your job will bring you ultimate happiness. But let's say somebody's working a job they don't really like it. Let's just say. But their goals are pertaining to how much they make, and like, or their goals are pertaining to, I want to be the manager next. And after that, I want to be the director next of their said company. But they don't like the job. They just like the status plus the money. There's a difference there, I would assume. Yeah. Right. And speak on that for a moment. What do you think?
Personally, I feel like my job helps with reaching my own personal moments of like, you know, happiness, whatever. But I would say it's a goal, as it should be a goal for everyone, I feel like, to prioritize your personal, I don't know, goals or limits, break through your ceiling in your personal life rather than your work life. I think at the beginning, it needs to be your work life first to get a foundation. I've always been told, yeah, you can go and explore the world if you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to need some sort of income. And that income will come to you based on your motivation and your goals for your job. So I think that as your life goes on, though, it needs a switch. You need to actually live life. Don't be that person that, you know, needs to work 80 hours a week. You know, people that brag about working 8 hours a week, like, I just don't understand that. I really don't. You might say that you work hard, yes, but for God's sakes, dude, you're working so many freaking hours.
Yeah.
8 hours a week. Is that right, man?
80 hours a week is probably pretty impossible, but
yeah. Let's just say like 70 hours a week.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And I don't think that's a bragging right. I think you're just basically saying I don't live my life as full as I should. I really think that's what that's saying. I know some people might not agree with that. I think
no, I think a lot of people will agree with that.
But people, yeah, I don't know. That gets me kind of just fired up because like
get into it.
I really want all of our jobs to not be like that anymore. Like I still know some jobs where, you know, if you don't work 10 plus over your actual contracted hourly minimum, you just don't show like you have motivation or you drive for your job. That's so not true. And I really hate how that's been a thing. I think that all started back in the day. You know, when America I'm just using the U.S. for example, but when we were going through tough times, people had to fucking work hard, dude. They had to work, you know, 12 plus hours a day, every single day, especially like I come from a farmer family, right? So I just know my dad was always out there, still is always out there for the longest times. But sometimes you need to do that. Go ahead though. Gosh dang. I'm like, I get carried away with that, bro.
No, I like it because I'm just wondering. I'm just asking questions, man. It's all about asking questions. I'm trying to, I guess I'm just thinking and doing a whole bunch of calculus in my brain right now.
That's how I talk sometimes. Huh? That's how I talk sometimes. I'm like over here.
No. This is good. This is good because I don't know. I don't know how. This is a very interesting topic, so I want to make sure to explain exactly what I mean. I'm big on like balance within the world, right? We've set up our culture to be very obviously materialistic driven at times, not everybody. Even how we live, just like everything, like far as our buildings, like where we live at, we have to go to a job to get money and work. So I'm trying to do the calculus and because we're like, you're a Gen Zer. We're both Gen Zers here, right? I would assume we're like the leaders of the Gen Z, right? We're right before millennials.
Yeah,
we're like the leaders of the Gen Z.
Damn right.
So like I'm trying to shed some light. As I think if it's not me, and maybe I'm just way off here, but I feel like we see a better place. That like this is amazing, and we're so thankful for everything that we have. It's amazing, especially the fact that like not everywhere in America is great, you know. And I've seen some very bad areas in America, and you're like, whoa. And you see like some of the drug epidemic in certain places, and you're like, whoa. Like it's not sunshine and rainbows everywhere in America. That's not what I'm saying. But let's just talk middle class, lower middle class people, and people that are doing well. That let's talk about specifically to the people that are working jobs that end up like kind of quitting or moving on from their job to do something else, whatever. So like kind of the older generations, we'll talk about the Gen Zers are the ones that like kind of quit their jobs, or like maybe even like late millennials are the ones that kind of quit their job and then move on to something new. It's hard because if we always look in the past, here looks amazing. It looks so amazing, which it is. It is pretty good.
It is.
But I feel like we're always, there's something else that we're really looking for out of life. There's like something we're looking for out of our own life. Cause like when I work and I'm working, 40 hours a week or even beyond that, and I'm sitting there, I'm doing something that is definitely providing a service is providing help to a lot of people, I would assume. It's actually probably saving some of the things that like I do is probably saving some people's lives. I'm not saying that I'm doing it, but I'm helping people that save people's lives in my job. Right. So I know there's a real good service for it, but it's almost like, have we become too interdependent on our material possessions and things and stuff? Because when I look at striking a balance between, let's just say like islander people, like how like some of let's think about the Marshall Islands or just the Pacific Islands, and some of those people lived, and some of those people will talk about how they lived before like kind of like America came and like set up bases and all this stuff, and they talked about like food was abundant. Right. They talked about like just it was genuinely a paradise. What like people they would say what people in America would deem as a paradise. Food was abundant, all this stuff. But then, like kind of like America started moving in, rightfully or wrongfully, whatever. America started moving in with building bases, even to protect these people, let's just say. And, then they started doing these tests on on these people, whether it was accidental or on purpose is to be seen. But they blew up the Bravo, the nuclear bomb, and that nuclear fallout landed on those people in the Marshall Islands. You ever hear about that story?
No, I've not heard of this. But
anyways, whether it was accidental or on purpose, or they're testing what a nuclear explosion does to the human body. This nuclear fallout landed on these people from the Marshall Islands or whatever. And so now the islands are just completely different from what they were before all that testing. And those people didn't have cell phones. They didn't have like built structures like this. They had maybe some kind of structures like this. Not buildings that we would deem. They didn't have cities. They didn't have, you didn't go to the store and to the market to buy food. They would kind of get it on their own. And it's like, I'm not saying, and I'm talking so long, I bet nobody understands what I'm talking about. But Mitch is like, what's going on?
No, I understand.
I'm trying to explain because it's really hard to explain. What I'm saying is that, like, is there a balance that could be had there between how the Pacific, like, island people live? That just sounds like really awesome life. But I'm sure that, like, if they get a disease out there, they're screwed. They don't have hospitals like we do and stuff. They don't have the technology like we do. But is there a balance to be had? And the people that have that balance, are they the ones that are figuring out, that are the ones that are ultimately happy between city life and super high paced, like technology, materialistic, the biggest house, the most cars, the most money, whatever. And then the balance between having literally nothing, but you're living on a paradise island and you're banging on mangoes and you're playing games with your kids. You don't have to work. You're not working now. You're working to get food and stuff like that, but you're working only for sustenance. Everything else is you're just hanging out, having fun. Yep. And I'm thinking like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but like, is there a balance to be had there? What do you think? Does that even make sense?
Is there? Well, I mean, yeah, it makes sense to an extent. Yes. No,
it may not make sense, but like,
so wait, who nuked who? I'm kidding.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding. I said, who nuked who again? I'm kidding.
No, they did tests on these Marshall Islands. That's how I learned about these people. Like so when America was doing all their nuclear tests,
yes.
And
I was kidding.
You knew what I was about? Okay.
Yes. But is there a balance to be had, right? So you're basically just asking me like, so in summary,
it's just like I'm trying to convey a point between I'm trying to convey a point between why Gen Z people feel like they're missing something and leaving really good jobs that are amazing and they make a lot of money because they see something more perfect, than what we have now. And I'm trying to relate that to like, well, maybe that's the difference between like how maybe there's a balance between how like obviously Gen Z people wouldn't want to live like how the Pacific Islanders do just because like, we're not used to that. Yeah. Some people maybe, but we're just not used to that. But it doesn't seem like we also want to live just like that super fast life, technology driven, materialistic, like going to nightclubs, partying throughout the week, drinking, poisoning our body. Like seems like there's a middle ground that we're missing. And that's why the older generations can't connect with Gen Z in some cases.
I think the middle ground there, I just thought of this. And I think it's true. I think the middle ground is if you actually love what you're doing. Because then I think you have best of both worlds. Okay. Because I think mentally, it's not work for you. It's not work. You're still getting paid though. You still have that foundation I was talking about. And yet you're at a mental peace. What was the whole thing about those islanders? They were happy out there. They were peaceful. They really had no mental battles. And I think people who truly love what they do, like literally not someone like, hey, Isaiah, how was your day? It was good. I like what I do. It's good. Well, I don't know if there are a lot of people lie about that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just say that just to make themselves believe that. I've talked about this already. I like what I do a lot, but I don't love it. I do not love it. If I would love it, okay. I feel like I would have the best of both worlds. I mean, when I retire, I'm retired. I wouldn't be a guy that sticks around, does this unless things change in the upcoming years. You never know. Mm-hmm. But I think that is the middle ground. If you love what you do, especially people who, I'm going to use the fitness world, for example. People make a living training people. They love talking to people. They love helping people get in better shape. And while they're doing it, it really doesn't seem like work. It really doesn't,
Yeah.
That's the middle ground for me. That's what I think, at least.
I think you're right. That's a good point. Is if you really, really love what you do, then, you know, even if you're doing it all the time, yeah, it'll be amazing because you're doing what you love. You're gonna be happy to get up and go do it or whatever. Even there's gonna be some struggle. There's gonna be struggle on everything you do, no matter what. Even if you're a Pacific Islander and you're living the paradise, you're gonna struggle with something, you know. So I think you are completely right there, because that's the thing I'm thinking about is the work week being, you know, like it's so funny because like who even set up the work week? You know, Monday through Friday,
bro. I know.
You know, 8 hours a day. You know, that's the work week. And it's like, would things shut down if we worked Monday through Thursday and we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off? And I'm not saying we should do that. I'm just saying, would things like shut down? No, we have to keep it open because we got to compete with China and we got to compete with the other countries and whatever. And you think about it, you're like, okay, yeah, you're probably right. But they're saying the same thing. There, people, we have to work more than America because and it's just funny. It's just like, dang, like really. At the end of the day, we're just providing like a whole bunch of like almost like, I don't know, just worker bees in the system to keep the money going and keep the money going, which is fine. Like I totally get it. I'm not against it because our system has brought a lot of good fruits. Yeah. But it is kind of a struggle to really reach that balance, because I don't know if we are at balance with the corporate structure. I don't know. But I don't know, like, far as if you love your job, then you're going to be willing to work 80 hours. If I love something, I'm willing to work until I pass out every night doing it. But if I don't really love something, it is a lot to ask, Monday through Friday, 40 plus hours. Really, it's not 40 plus hours. A lot of people that are on salary that I know that are on salary work way more than 40 plus hours, way more than 40 hours.
See, that's,
because they have to, because they have to.
And I want to talk about this now, just because I didn't want to give off the wrong message before. But if people work more than 40 hours, right? Mm-hmm. Or, I was saying people that work 70, 80 hours a week.
You've seen people like that?
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I'm sure some doctors work a shit ton a week.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Stuff like that.
I thought you said just like immediate people that you knew.
Oh, I personally know people that work 60 hours a week. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing, because America is made off of hard work and dedication and long hours. I think people like that are good to still have, because truthfully, deep down, they bring it to the next level. They do. And comparing it to someone like me who only works, I'll work 40 to 45 hours a week, and I'm fine with that. But I'm not that guy that will be advancing my entire company. That person that's working 6 hours a week, hopefully they're doing that because they want to advance our company or make our company be prestigious in our industry. Yeah. Those type of people need to happen. It really does. But I think what's really special about our generation specifically, we are realizing that if someone comes up to you and says, you're not working 50 hours a week, I think you're just not motivated enough. I think a lot of us nowadays would be like, okay, I don't care. I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else that allows me to actually live my life, even though 50 hours a week, I know that's only 10 more hours than average work week, but so we'll just go with like 65 hours a week. That's a hefty load. I think, and that's what I like about people our age, is that we're realizing that shit. Like, we're realizing that I don't give a shit if you want me to stay and work those many hours. I'm not doing it because I want to cherish. If you don't love it.
Yeah. I think you really hit the nail on the head. That's the variable that matters, because I'm one of those grinder people that I love the work. I work until I pass out if it's something I love. Yeah. If it's something I really don't love, then I'm not that person. Like, I'm not just going to work randomly, like just randomly a lot. But there's people like that will work randomly, just a lot of hours, just consistently for their whole life, and they're chilling, but they never really like want to do anything or want to progress everything. There is people like that for sure. I'm not one of them. But yeah, like I always I think I'm just maybe a different person. I'm just trying to look at it through a different lens. But no, interesting.
This is another example of kind of like trying to find the happy medium. I'm actually going to use myself, and it happens with my job because I really like my job. I've said that, but I also love to have my own time. But I get in situations where I'm like, I get a little anxiety because I'm like, oh, I probably should get on so I can finish this task, right? But I have the right to sit on my couch and watch movies because it's a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm mentally struggling with myself. Like, I'm fighting myself because, like, oh, I should do this, but I have every right to just not do it. I have every right in the world to do it. No one's going to yell at me. No one will get on my butt about it. It's just my own goals that I'm kind of like fighting against. And that it's kind of hard how I'm saying I'm fighting against it, but it's only because I'm trying to find the happy medium. And I'm not living up to that thought, because I tell myself, like, I want to have that happy medium where I have that balance. But if I'm getting on that computer today on a Sunday, I'm totally lying against myself and my beliefs. You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like you're, yeah.
Gosh damn, you know? And it's like, I want that formula just so I don't worry about that shit on the weekends, you know? And it will never, well, it can happen, but yeah.
If you could work, so like you said, you like your job, you don't necessarily love it, but you really do like it. Just like me. Like, I like my job. I don't necessarily love it, but I like it for sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm really appreciative of what it does for me, you know, financially and all that good stuff. Yeah. My thing is, though, like, I think you striking that medium is definitely important, but really, if you do really love something and this is your calling or whatever in life, if that's what people feel like, this is my calling to do X, you should never feel like there's a medium. Like, you should never feel like you're reaching a happy medium, because more of it, not necessarily to the point to where you're like just exhausted, whatever, but more of it's always going to be better, right? Like, if you're doing something you love and you're just crushing it, and you're going to want to work on it at all times. You're going to have to pull yourself back so that you don't like overexert yourself. I think that's how it should be for everybody. Like, obviously it's not, because you have to like make money or whatever. So it's not everybody's going to find that. But man, I think everybody should search for that. Everybody should search for feeling like I love this and I'm just going to attack it. And I think it's worth it ultimately. To find that. Everyone should find that, to where you don't feel like you need a happy medium, to where like you're counting your hours. It should just be you're grinding because that's what you love to do. I don't know though. Yeah, I don't know.
But I also don't want to be one of those people that, you know, when I grow older, I'm working and I'm missing my kid's birthday because I actually love my job, you know, too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously that happens a lot. That happens a lot in today's world.
Oh yeah. And you think that's from people that actually love their job?
No, not all of it, I guess.
So you think there's people that just like their job maybe, and they're grinding and like that sucks. That sounds like, dude, that sounds sucky. That sounds so bad.
Doesn't it suck? And they don't walk away. I really truly believe they don't walk away from that situation because that money that comes in their account every month is too much to deny. You know? Does that make sense what I said?
Yeah. Okay. Well, plus, and if you set up a life off that income,
oh yeah,
you have to maintain that income.
You have to.
So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, once you get kids and then you get the wife and then whatever, they're in a weird way like an anchor. Like, you're done.
100%.
Not necessarily you're done.
No, you're done, bro.
But man,
I'm never getting married now.
I know. You can't take risks like you necessarily want to.
Yeah.
Because you have responsibilities. And I think that's what our parents say. And I think about it as like, is that the best way? Like, y'all had kids and like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you guys had kids. Now they're your anchors to where you can't do what you want in life. Why did you have, like, I mean, some people accidentally and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and some
people
people
be like that.
And some people are like hit 30 and they're like, oh, okay, I gotta have a kid now. Like, whatever. Yep. Dude, I don't know. I kind of want to be just like set, chilling. I may not be like that, of course. I'm maybe talking out my ass, but like, I want to be set, chilling. Like
Lambo,
I'm doing
kids.
Yes. I'm doing the job I want to do. I'm chilling. And then eventually I'm pushed to like, okay, now I want something. You know, now hopefully it's not like 45, because then like I'm probably all dried up. So I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that's a mistake. Like, people have their jobs and they have their career and they get set, then they have their kids. Now their kids are their anchors and they have to stay at that job.
Yeah.
But like, for the system, perfect. You know, if I'm a corp, perfect. Yes. Yeah. Have a kid, have a wife, get your house. Yep. Now
that money's going around like it should be.
Yeah. Now you're fucked. Yeah. Now you have to work the job. You can't leave, because if you leave, then the money's not flowing.
And your kids are going to be unhappy. Your wife's going to divorce you.
Something like that. Or, I mean, your wife might be making money too, so it might be fine. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're just talking crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why we got on that topic. How did we get there? I don't know how we got there.
I don't know, but I like talking about that stuff.
It's interesting.
Because it's
that balance. It's interesting.
I still, and I don't, if anyone from my work is listening to this, I don't want this to sound bad.
Listening, bro.
But thanks for listening. Yeah. But it's like, I still feel like I need to find that feeling of I'm going to work and it doesn't feel like work. You know?
Yes.
I haven't had that yet. Yeah. I've had that back when I used to farm with my dad, you know? Yeah? So then it's like, fuck, you know? Was that, you know?
Mitch on a farm?
Yeah. I'm like, damn it. Is that life, you know?
Your dad feel that way about the farm?
My dad? Yeah, he does.
He doesn't feel like it's work?
He doesn't. He actually told me that before, too. It's the same thing with construction, you know? I mean, he feels like it's work, but, you know, he's the owner of his own construction business. So obviously, if you're the owner of something,
you're chilling.
You gotta love it. I mean, you know? Because everyone knows if you're the owner of something, you have to deal with all of the shit. All of the shit.
You're chilling, though.
You are, yeah. Yeah. But
yeah,
I really want, I would say that's one of my top goals in life. Like, I think about that a lot. I think about, and I'm only 22. I might be, like you said, talking out of my ass.
I'm talking. We are. I think that's a consistent thing.
Talking out of our ass.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Hey, we talk out of our ass a lot.
That's okay, though. Yeah. That's okay.
I mean, because I actually think this is like healthy because you need to think about this stuff. Yeah. Like this kind of stuff. You can't just go in your life and have the windows, you know, up and go straight. You need to have your windows down so you can see all the options along the road. Yeah. You know? That's pretty cool.
It just wasn't that was good. It just wasn't the same for like older generations, which is great. Like it's great that like, you know, older generations really worked hard to get us to this point, especially, you know, some of my ancestors, what they did to get us to this point, and 100%. Now we can, you know, oh my gosh, you could just imagine, right? Like,
I can't. I can't imagine that, dude.
Like,
that's
yeah, like you could just imagine like, to getting to this point to be like, well, some of us getting to this, there's still a lot of issues, but you know, some of us getting to this point to be where we are, incredible. But it's so fun because like that's our anchor to like not finding something. Yeah. We should always be excelling. Like for instance, I could look at them and be like, I could look at, you know, the older generations and be like, they're like, yeah, we worked for 40 years and, you know, we worked at the factory. And it was like, but before that, they got you guys to that point. Yeah. So you could just keep going back to the point where we're hunter gatherers. Like I was running 100 miles a day catching antelope out in, you know what I mean? Like, like we were sustenance hunting. Yeah. Like you could really trace it all the way back to like the person before you worked harder than you, the person before you. It's not necessarily true. I don't know if anybody worked harder than anybody. People just work. Now, let me be clear. There is people that don't work hard because we have abundance. Like that's true. But there is a lot of people that are willing to like work just as hard 100%. As any generation. I know I am. But we're in a position to where like, bro, let's keep progressing and trying to like people get put in their different boxes. And now we're at a point where you guys killed it. Our older generation, well, some killed it, you know, now your kids can find exactly what job that they want to go into. It's not just they have to go to the factory and work 40 years. They don't have to do that now. Chilling. Cool. Awesome. Everybody's going to college. Now you can kind of maybe find out AI is getting better. You know, machines are getting better. Now they're going to be able to take care of a lot of that work. Like, let's keep progressing, y'all. Like, keep making this thing better. But I don't know. Maybe there's so many variables that go into that.
Yeah, a lot of variables. And it's all about perspective.
Oh, here we go.
That's all about perspective. All right, I'm not going to go on.
No.
What do you mean? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's
little chat GPT.
Perspective. No, it's true. You're right.
It's all about perspective. Yeah. But yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Right. So that was question number 2.
question number 3. No, but I think that's good. I think we kind of tailed off. But I like the questions. I like the questions. So it gives us some good thoughts. So we're at an hour and 4 minutes.
Are we?
You want to wrap it?
Yeah,
so you get your night.
We'll wrap it.
All right, crew. We hope you guys liked that one. We vibed out on that one. It's a good one. Got to get this one posted, man. In a new setup. We hope you guys liked it. Mitch, any final thoughts about the pod today?
No.
If
aliens come up to you and give you 5 minutes to explain, you know, why they shouldn't kill you, do some research before you respond to them. Otherwise, you're gonna make
don't tell them just save America.
Yeah. Don't.
Just save America.
Just don't be like me. With that response.
No, it was good. But all right, thank you guys for listening and. We out. Ooh, that's terrible. Maybe it's time for a new vibe. Yo, we out, guys. Peace
and love.
All right, guys. Peace.